Okay. Alhamdulillah, today we are gathered today for our second series of our INAQ lectures online as well as in the our hall today. So today is our second INAQ series. Before I further start, I would like to let us recite umur kita Al-Fatihah prior to our program today. Alright, before further introduction, because this is the second session, I would like to invite the participant who's online to look at the chat, and there's a Google form that I already shared. It's a simple survey regarding related to the INAQ component that we are trying to learn together. So it's not it's sort of like a simple quiz, but it's not to assess how good you are. But it's more like to see the baseline, where are we, and after the fourth session of our INAQ series, we would like to see how good our program can improve our knowledge, the lecture knowledge, so that we know that this program is really beneficial in a way to everyone. So while waiting, I would like to invite you to answer simple survey. And who's in the hall? I need to share the QR code. I'll give the QR code later. Because the system is problem. Okay. Anyway, today we will have two speakers. Each speakers will be having a session about 45 minutes. So the first speaker we're going to talk about the principles of Maqasid Syariah in the medical field by our Dr. Muhammad Rafiq Hasan from Faculty of Medicine and Sciences, USIM. So I would like to introduce Dr. Rafiqi. He is graduated from the University Al-Ain Shams in Egypt for his bachelor degree in medicine and surgery, and subsequently he also attained bachelor in Sharia Islamiyah from University Al-Azhar, and subsequently he had his masters in anesthesiology and critical care from UT Science Malaysia. So Dr. Rafiqi has become one of the famous writers in introducing and integrating Islamic knowledge together with medical field, and he has many publications as well as presenting proceedings, journals, as well as in conferences. So without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Muhammad Rafiqi Hasan to start his talk today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson, my sister, Nur Zaidlina. Okay, I would like to share my slide first. Share. Right. Did all of you see my slide?
Yes.
Clear. Very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good evening to everyone, all my colleagues, professors, doctors, and everyone. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man nasarahu wa man wala. Wa ala bishrina sadrina wa yassir umurana wa qul uqdatan min alsinatina. So we have to topics today. So my first topic is about the maqasid syariah principle in medical practice. So as we all know, previous session we have a good flow session with the Dr. Nakib regarding the introduction of the maqasid syariah, and as I know it's a very good discussion previously. And today we're going to talk about how this maqasid syariah as a principle and how we want to apply in the medical practice. And it is as a general concept, and we want to know how this syariah, maqasid syariah is very benefits in our medical practice, in our as a doctors, as a healthcare workers, that we are going to apply this maqasid syariah in our daily practice. Okay, so I start my my talk today with a verse ayat from Al-Quran Karim. Kalau Allah Ta'ala dan Al-Aziz, A'udzubillahi minasyaitanirrajim, wa man ahyaha fakannama ahyana jami'an. Whoever save a life, it will be as if they save all the humanity. This is concept that Islam has teach us. Whoever save a life means we as a doctor, we save a human or patient, save their life. So the patient will have a good health. So they can contribute. It's not only for himself or herself. He or she can contribute to the family, the community, to the society, to the worldwide. So this is what concept that Islam bring us this concept. So whoever save a life means we as a doctor we save the patient. So we know that this patient will benefit not only for their self, so it's a benefit for worldwide, for all people. So this is the concept that first Islam bring us and teach us regarding the good being a healthcare worker as a doctor. Okay. So what is the maqasid syariah? As we all know that the maqasid syariah is the higher objective in Islam law. So how we want to apply is within the field of medicine. Because maqasid syariah is not only apply to the healthcare. It can apply like in our ibadah, in our muamalah, means we are dealing with during the business or buying something. So it's related to all aspects in our life. It's not only to the healthcare, but in our scope today, we are going to talk about how this maqasid syariah is related to our field in the medical practice. Okay, so the maqasid syariah is about guiding our action. So this maqasid syariah is about guiding our action toward the essential human values. So what type of human values? So this is what the Imam Ash-Shafi'i teach us, what the maqasid syariah in the principal manner. So we want to know this framework that the maqasid syariah that the Imam Shafi'i has integrated in a well manner. So the first one, it is a first preserving the life, preserve nafs. But actually the first one is the preserving. But in the medical practice, the preserve nafs is more important because we want to save the patient, or we want to let this patient die. So in the medical practice, the preserving life and preserving nafs is a prioritizing and is a very important in the concept of the maqasid syariah. So the first is preserving life, which is preserving nafs in Arabic. So it's protecting and preserving every human life. For example, we prioritize what's the treatment, what's the intervention that is a value to the patient in order to preserve the life. Okay. The second one is the preserving the intellect, the human intellect, which is al-aql. We know some proof that al-aql study, which is studying the good akal, good mental, good intellect. So with the good intellect, we have a good health, good human body. So with the preserving the intellect is one of the maqasid or objective in Islamic law. Okay. So the Hibs al-Aql will emphasize what is the mental health, getting the mental clarity, getting the informed decision making, that informed consent, and this is very important in medical practice. Okay, next is the preserving the faith, the belief, Hibs al-Din, which is agama, Hibs al-Din. So in this part of the Makosid Syariah is focusing on Islam. But as we all know, we have a multicultural, multi-races community. We have someone who is not believing in Islam, someone with their belief. So preserving the faith is one of the Makosid Syariah that can be applied in medical practice, in our daily practice as a doctors or healthcare worker. Because some patients have their own belief and their own cultural values. So these multivariate, the multifaceted belief and cultures, we have to prioritize. We have to give some respect to their belief and faith in order to know, in order to gather this Makosid Syariah in the way of Islam for us. Okay? Next is the preserving the image, which is a Hibs-un-Nas zodiac, respecting the family structure and genetic integrity. It means we have to ensure what is in the ethical practice regarding the, let's, for example, is a genetic practice and regarding the reproductive medicine, in respect the family structure. So we correct this with the different lineage, because we want to know, I guess, we want to protect the lineage that gives in us, and there is no mix between between the lineage. Okay, so the father having IVF, for example, so it's one part of the preserving the Hibs-un-Nas. Next is the preserving the wealth, which is Hibs-al-Mal. So Mal is related to the equitability, what's the accessibility, the facilities, which is everyone must be afford, and the healthcare must be equal to each other. It's not only for VIP, which it's all for everyone. The healthcare should be all for everyone. It's not only for the VIP or DACO, whatsoever gelaran will happen. So it is everyone must have equal healthcare facilities and accessibility. Okay, so now we see one by one. Okay, the first one is the heart of healthcare. As I said, it's the core of healthcare. We want to preserve the Hibs-un-Nas. So this is the heart of the Makosid Syariah, and it is very life is precious and must be protected. So this principle is every decision, every treatment, every intervention. Our aim in Islam, we want to save the life and we want to alleviate the suffering. This is specifically for patients with chronic cancer pain, which is in the terminal pain. So this is one of the things that we want to preserve. So application in medicine. So this principle will advocate by prioritizing the treatment to sustain and protect the human life, especially during the critical care in ICU. We want to prioritize what is the risk, what is the benefit, which is good for this patient, good for this candidate in the ICU. So it's one of the part of the preserving the life. Okay. Other example like life-saving surgery, and lastly in the palliative care. So in the palliative care, it is very difficult for us to give a decision. It is a good, if you want to give intervention, is it the risk to the patient is very high. At the same time, there is no benefit to the patient. So this is why we have to tell you whichever is good. This is in order to preserve the life of the patient. So the Islam law encourages the use of anything that related to the medical intervention, if there is a pharmacological or non-pharmacological, in order to preserve the life, which is we have facing a complex ethical dilemma. For example, in ethical dimension, we have a very difficult decision surrounding the end of life care. We want to just take out the ventilator, or we want to preserve the ventilator. In other words, we know a patient is a vegetative, so we want to continue the treatment and intervention, or we want to just stop it. So it is some ethical dilemma, and it's part of the discussion in the Islamic contemporary physics. Okay. And then the other thing is like do not resuscitate order. Because some patients have their own decision. They don't want to do any active intervention and whatsoever to their parents who is a patient. And some patients they don't want to give, they want to have their own decision regarding that treatment. So it's very difficult, and we have to be in one discussion with the multidisciplinary team should be together to decide what is the benefit to the patient. So this is one of part of the preservation of the life, which is euthanasia, which is very important in Islam. Okay. Next, we have the protecting the mental health. The first one we have euthanasia, which is preserving the life, protect the life. The second one, we want to protect the intellect, akal, mind, your health, mental health. So this intellect is a fundamental human responsibility as well as the decision making. So in medicine, any procedure, any intervention, we should have the informed consent. So it's one part of the preservation of the intellect. So we want to know this patient is a good or fit for the informed consent. So we have to assess. Okay, in order to assess, we have to know patient's condition. This patient is septic condition or not. So it's one part of the type of the preservation of the intellect. So it emphasizes in Islam, the mental health intervention. As well, for example, responsible for prescription of medication. Some medication have the effect on cognition, so we have to consider this. And other example like informed consent, managing the psychiatric condition, substance abuse, neurodegenerative disorder, and it should be approached in a different way in order to preserve this in Islam. Okay. Next, we have the embracing the belief. Okay, we know Islam is the Islam is the best deen. Islam is the best way of life. It's the best religion in Islam. Okay, but we have to respect the patient beliefs. Sometimes patients have different beliefs. Even in Islam, they have some belief from whatsoever. Okay, so this is respecting a patient religious belief during medical treatment. For example, they have a dietary restriction, they have a prayer needs, and some specific requirement or some specific intervention or treatment. So it's one of the ethical obligations in Islamic medical ethics. Okay? Next, we have the protecting the family and age, which is a preservation and euthanasia, Zuriyat. Okay? So the family is the foundation of the society. Okay? We start the family, or we start the society with a single unit of the family. So in order to protect the family, so we have to preserve from the single unit, which is the family. So this principle is guide the integrity of family structure in medical ethics. For example, when we are discussing about the assisted reproductive technology, Islamic bioethics, so it prohibits practice like mother surrogacy, donor gametes, as it will disrupt the traditional family image. So this unethical practice that will cause this preservation of image will be abrupt. Okay? For example, like INAQ, the couples own genetic materials is acceptable because it can preserve both image and family structure. While IVF in the third party involvement, let's say it's not from the couple gamete and the own genetic material, so this is forbidden in Islam. So we want to protect and preserve the lineage. This is one of the examples. And lastly, we have the ensuring the fair and affordable care. As I said, everyone has the right to have accessibility to the healthcare. So healthcare is not be a luxury, it's a right. So everyone has the right to have a good access, good accessibility to the healthcare. So this principle emphasizes fair and reasonable medical costs, focusing on making the healthcare accessible to all. So everyone has the right to access to the healthcare. Okay. For example, in a resource-limited area, we can choose what is the cost-effective intervention, cost-effective treatment. For example, we have the generic drugs. Okay, it's not original, but the effect is more or less is like original. So it's one part of the preservation of the wealth, the human life. Because in the resources limited area, the cost-effective is very important. Because we want to help the patient, and then we don't want to give a patient having a financial hardship. They have their own problem regarding the financial, so we don't want to give their life really miserable because of the financial issue. Okay, so this is just repetition of my talk before. So some of the real world case study and offline care, regarding the organ donation, mental health intervention, regarding the gift around, informed consent, also gift around. Okay, and then medical research. Some medical research have issue regarding the malformation because it breaks the medical integrity. Okay, so this is the point of break the integrity. So we have to discuss in more detail regarding this issue. And lastly, we have issue in public health and preventive measures because some of anti-vax, for example, they have their own decision against the vaccination. So regarding the malformation, we have to give a good explanation to them in order to know this is vaccination. We want to preserve the life in a holistic manner as a public health worldwide issue. Okay. So what's the challenges that we have in the Malformation Sharia? The first is the global cultural sensitivity. Okay, we are in Malaysia having a multi-races, multi-religions, with a multifaceted culture. So this applying this principle of Malformation Sharia in a multicultural setting, so require the flexibility, flexibility and respect for a diverse patient background. We have a lot of diverse patient background. The second one, there is emerging technologies. We have advanced in the AI and biotechnology challenges. So this continuing of these emerging technologies, we have some ethical issues regarding the innovation with the ethical standard. Okay. Lastly, raising the awareness, educating the healthcare professional, especially Muslim, regarding this principle, enhance the compassion and quality of care that we offer every day to all our patients. Okay, as a key takeaway, Malformation Sharia aligns with the healthcare profession. So we want to give good healing, preserve the dignity, and serving the humanity because from the first verse, وَمَنْ أَحْيَا فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. So we want to preserve all the humanity in a holistic manner. The principle provides flexible, but it requires an ethical framework that we have to adapt in the modern medicine's complexity. It's a complex way. As I said, it's not very easy to understand and to absorb what the Malformation Sharia teach us in medical practice and in applying this into the medical practice. So by upholding the Malformation Sharia, we can create a healthcare system that respects the human values. We can celebrate the cultural diversity and employment, equitability care for everyone. And I end my talk with this ayah yang kita itu bahwa when I am ill, it is He who cures me. So I know that there is a healer, is a cure, but Allah is the only one that cures. I think that's all. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, Alhamdulillah, thank you Dr. Rafiki. I would like to open the floor and also the participant online whether you would like to ask any questions. Anybody want to ask anything? Okay,
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, please, Prof. Dr. Rafiki, can hear Prof. Rafida's question?
Yes, clear.
Clear.
I would like to ask about the usage of the word human dignity from the Maqasid Syariah point of view, because I think what happens is that the same word, the same term has been used by the liberals and the human rights proponents. So when they reject the law, they were saying that our law against certain what you call offences, like tashabuh, cross-dress, is actually rejecting or downgrading or affect human dignity. The impermissibility of sex change is also degrading human dignity. Not allowing sex reassignment surgery is also not respecting human dignity. So while just now you said about we are preserving human dignity, so how do we actually reconcile these words which are commonly used nowadays? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Very good question. Preserving your dignity means the initial part of the Maqasid Syariah. We have to apply not only means the one single principle. Okay, because the initial part we have a 5 principle, which is the first, al-nasl, al-aql, al-din, al-mal, and then all these 5 principles we have to have what the first if it is they want to preserve the dignity, in other words they want to against other principle. In Islam we have to preserve, the first is ad-din. Okay, so the din against this lesbian, LGBT, homosexual, whatsoever. So this the principle itself in the Maqasid Syariah is not in one issue. It's not apply only one faceted issue, faceted maqasid. For example, this Maqasid Syariah regarding the dignity of the lesbian. So in lesbian, if they want to preserve the dignity, at the same time, it's against the other maqasid, which is a din. Okay, so it's in other word, it's aligned with the one maqasid, one principle, but it against the other principle. But in Islam, we have to align all the 5 principles in order to know that this is a good or this is the best way or best decision for that issue. Do you get my point, Prof?
Yes, thank you very much.
All the principles must be integrated.
Yeah, I like the word align.
It's not only one principle for one issue.
Yeah, thank you very much. Align all Maqasid Syariah. Yeah.
It's a preserving the nasl, the lineage. Okay, at the same time, we have to preserve the din, which is regarding if it is from the same couple, so it's preserve the din, which is regarding the pusaka, harta, wasiat, whatsoever regarding the muamalah Ramadan. Actually, it's not only one maqasid for one issue. Actually, one issue related to all the maqasid is five principle. So I think most of us thinking that only one maqasid for one issue. But this actually is a universal one issue.
Thank you very much. Yes, align all maqasid. Yes, align all maqasid is a very good concept. Thank you so much.
Alhamdulillah, thank you Prof. Fida for asking. Any other further questions? Yes.
Do you have time?
Yes, we do.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dr. Rafiki, thank you so much, and Dr. Kavanagh, and thank you for your very interesting talk. I think just to pick up also, to follow on from the question by Prof. Rafida, because you were talking about maqasid syariah together with healthcare, and it so-called integrates very clearly with healthcare. But I think we are also starting to see where there is starting to appear some instances where there's conflicts. For example, I think this is also familiar to Prof. Rafida, pre-exposure prophylaxis and all the transgender and sexual issues that you were talking about just now. My question is, how do we? So you mentioned one of them is to align all the maqasid for all the issues, especially the conflicts that come along. My question is, how do we practically go about if we face this kind of issue, and where can we refer to who has the authority to give us advice on? Because for cases like, for case study, for example, pre-exposure prophylaxis, so it was a huge discussion, but a lot of confusion arising from that. So how do we handle that when there is a conflict between the what medical care offers and the maqasid syariah? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Harun Naim. Yes, I think that's the real life issue. One of my friend, this is one example from me. One of my friend, they are having GP in Kelantan, Kota Baru. So they want to provide a PrEP, which is prophylaxis. As a prophylaxis, it's prophylaxis PrEP. Okay, so my friend asked me, can he provide PrEP in his clinic? Because we know that when most of the, I don't know, it's not most of the anak-anak muda sekarang kan, they take the PrEP and then they go to Golok to take some sexual relationship with the hooker whatsoever lah. So from the first principle, yes, we want to preserve the lineage, preserve the asal, I mean zuriat, by giving a PrEP. At the same time, the objective of that PrEP is not clear, because some of the patient is not patient. Some of these youngster take this PrEP because in order to having some go to Golok, issue. So the point is, it's not easy to give a good understanding to even to the mindfully, even to the doctors. So the authority, I don't know, the best authority is from Majlis Agama Islam lah. The best authority lah, Majlis Fatwa whatsoever. But the issue now, not all, I'm sorry to say, not all the Majlis Fatwa really in depth regarding the healthcare issue. Okay, even our fatwa itself, Majlis Fatwa pun, the previous issue like is a very backdated. Sometimes in Saudi they already have the issue 10 years back. but in Malaysia, we just came out that fatwa. So regarding the authority, I think it's very difficult to know who is the responsible for this issue, because we know every day it's an emerging issue related to medical healthcare. So we don't have a good, the authorities to answer with this emerging issue. Okay, so I know it's a very difficult question, I also don't know how to give awareness to the community regarding this issue, because every specialty have their own issue related to the Makosid Syariah, and most of us just thinking if it is one issue is related to that issue or related to one Makosid Syariah, then they want to solve just specific to that issue. But actually, when we talk, it is in deeper way. So it's one issue. We must talk in a multifaceted, multi-dimension discussion to know, is it good to the human, is it good to Islam, is it good to Muslim, in order to give a good example as a good Muslim. I think that's my opinion. I don't know if Prof. Rida wants anyone can add more.
Participant hari ini simpan
thank you Dr. Naim for the question, and thank you again Dr. Rafiki for the very lengthy explanation. I understand this issue is not only regarding the PrEP, which is more recent, I think long back, regarding giving barrier condom and contraceptive also an issue, because in the end, human being human, they try to manipulate despite we are giving between two options. In the first place, we may not able to stop all, but we want to prevent further outcome of bad, reducing the bad sort of like outcome from these issues like related to HIV spread, or even free sex and whatsoever. Yes, but then the lesser evil, you choose to give. But then they manipulated and make it as if we have decided that we made wrong decision on allowing this. So it would be a never-ending debate. In fact,
because actually our aim is to prepare, but there is someone think this is the opportunity.
Yes, unfortunately, we always have space and opportunity for them. They're becoming opportunistic. Alright, but perhaps because this series will be, we have 4 series. We have at the end of the series, we have case examples of case collection, and which we can share alongside with other colleagues. So perhaps we can also re-discuss, and may suggest for further discussion with other our scholars, Islamic scholars. Alright, I think our time is up. You may have more questions. We are happy to collect. You can WhatsApp or even email to us. We can collect and perhaps bring it in next INAQ session. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad Rafiki, for the very insightful talk just now, because elaborating more on Makosid Syariah and integrating it with our medical practice. Thank you so much, Dr. So while we wait for our second speaker, I would like to invite the participant in the hall to scan the QR code and do the simple survey that we would like to collect as a baseline prior to this talk. Actually, it was shared last week, the first session, but today attendance is more, I think, because it's online. So it's not to judge how we did not really want to assess you. Don't worry. So it's more like to see whether this series of knowledge sharing on Islamic fundamentals session really benefit us in terms of this session. So At the end, we still repeat the same question and see whether you are more confident and have more knowledge related to decision related to medical-based issues. If you have done the question before in the first series, you don't have to repeat it. Okay? We wait for a while for our second speaker. Alright, so okay. So I would like to introduce our second speaker. Our second speaker is Dr. Zizi Azlinda binti Muhammad Yusuf, one of the lecturer in Faculty of Sharia and Law in USIM. So Dr. Zizi had her bachelor and master both from International Islamic University Malaysia, IIUM, in Fiqh and Usul Fiqh, and subsequently she completed her PhD in Sharia and Judiciary in USIM. She had written so many articles as well as papers, and presented in conferences and published journals related to Islamic fiqh issues, and some of it very hot issues, related to current Islamic and medical related issues like being discussed just now. Without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Zizi to present her talk related to the fiqh awlawiyat. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zairina. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Participant online, can you hear us?
Yes, clear.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Innalhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Qala rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli, amma ba'd. First of all, I want to thank for my colleagues from KUP, Kumpulan Penyelidikan led by Dr. Rahim from our maternal and well-being, to invite me for having me to give a talk entitled such as on the screen, the fundamentals of fiqh awlawiyat or fiqh of priorities. So actually Dr. Zarina is my co-SB for my PhD, so she lead me and also guide me a lot in terms of how to understand medical dilemma, and also how to what they had in hospital, and also what is the problem that always they are stumble upon. So until now, we still collaborate in such kind of topic, medical and also pharmaceutical. And today, the topic given is the fundamental of fiqh awlawiyat. I believe some of us had heard about this term, fiqh awlawiyat. Fiqh al-awlawiyat. The right term is fiqh al-awlawiyat. There is al in front of that. I just want to make it what we call short form. So fiqh awlawiyat, or we call it fiqh of priorities. When we come across with problems, to prescribe the patient with just like the medicine, just like the for example, let's say the what we call the controversial medicine, and also the PrEP issues, right? The PrEP doesn't have any issues of what we call unlawful ingredient in it, but the receiver, the patient who come to get the PrEP always make the Muslim doctor who have faith in their heart always come with what we call the dilemma. Should I give or not? Should I prescribe or not? I am Muslim doctor. So what is the awlawiyat? How to prioritize that issue to balance the society and also to heal the patient. So this matter always linger around us. So today, inshallah, we will go through one by one. What is awlawiyat actually? According to our scholar, because I know even Western authors, they have their own what we call thought. They have their own principle about priorities. But we as Muslim, we must stand with our Islamic thinking and also with our belief.
I think there's a complaint by online.
That is why.
That is webinar. Oh, our mic is mute.
Sorry. Can Dr. Zizi continue?
Okay, sekarang jangan. Okay, for those who never seen the book of Fiqh al-Awlawiyat, this is the book in Arabic, Fiqh al-Awlawiyat, fi dhilal maqasid syariah al-Islamiyah, and also translated into Malay, Fiqh keutamaan petugas kaum Muslim, and Fiqh al-Awlawiyat is a new discipline pioneered by Almarhum Sheikh Dr. Yusuf Al-Qaradawi. It's not a Turath knowledge. It's a contemporary or new discipline that what we call established by our prominent scholars, contemporary scholars, that is Dr. Yusuf Al-Qaradawi. And to practice fiqh al-awlawiyat, or to practice fiqh of priorities, some Sharia guidelines need to be followed. And fiqh al-awlawiyat has a strong relationship with several types of fiqh. Okay, and before we begin to know what is the other type of fiqhs that relate with fiqh al-awlawiyat, we should know that fiqh al-awlawiyat, actually is not a principle in hukum resolution. Instead, it is a procedure only. Alright? Because ulama, our mujtahidin, our Muslim scholar, our fuqaha, our usuliyun, they do the istinbat hukum, istinbat any hukum according to nusus, textual, and also some guidelines in some manhaj in their own madhab. And as I told you in earlier, fiqh awlawiyat is a new discipline. So fiqh awlawiyat, it stands on the nusus. So we must understand nusus first. We must understand the maqasid first. We must stand on the some sort of waqi' and also shara', fiqh shara' first, before we come to fiqh of al-awlawiyat. Second, it is a flexible concept to apply. It's from by case by case.
Translate some of the words, Arabic words that you use, like istinbat, nusus. I believe it comes from nas, because majority of us do not have Arabic background.
Okay. I'm sorry. I try my best. Sometimes it just comes. Okay. So okay. before we go deeper into the fiqh al-awlawiyat, I want to we can focus on some terms in fiqh that will help us to understand fiqh al-awlawiyat deeper and better. Okay. First, fiqh al-awlawiyat. What is fiqh al-awlawiyat? Okay, it generally means the principle of priority in unifying or implementing the law. It's a vital principle in the process of legal reasoning, or we call in Arabic ijtihad, carried out by mujtahidin. So mujtahidin, our scholars, use this kind of fiqh to apply in their ijtihad, to have a resolution or fatwa or hukum. And Dr. Yusuf Al-Qaradawi said what it means is to put something in its position fairly. Okay, to put it anything or each of the things in its position accordingly, fairly. Then that means the priority of each based on correct sharia consideration, based on the guidance of regulation and reason. Thus, the unimportant is not prioritized over the important, just as the important is not prioritized over the more important. So what we need to put first? Give medicine or not? Give medicine or not? So, second terms that relate much with this fiqh awlawiyat is fiqh muwazanah, or sometimes we can hear in some books or in internet, and some maybe you come across with this term, fiqh mizan. Mizan, we get used with this word, right? Mizan, just like timbangan mizan in akhirat, right? So mizan is a scale. So just like muwazanah also is come from the word, and it's come from word mizan. No? So fiqh muwazanah, or jurisprudence of consideration, is a mechanism that is very closely related to fiqh al-awlawiyat in our taking decisions and actions, so that what we do is the best. Okay, so how does fiqh muwazanah operate? How can we apply fiqh muwazanah? Okay, for me, when I go through these topics, actually it's very vital, it's very important for doctors to understand what is fiqh mizan first. Because in fiqh mizan, you will apply the masalih. Masalih means benefit. If we translate that, but if we use in Arabic, it's more satisfied. Benefit for me, okay, benefit and manfaat, right? But when scholars, they say maslahah, it's about benefit to, benefit that can deliberate more and more, like that. So how does fiqh muwazanah operate? First, making consideration between various forms of benefit or maslahah that have been prescribed in Sharia. So you need to consider so many types of benefit that come in front of you. Okay, but B, making consideration between various forms of harm, damage, and evil that are prohibited by Sharia. Okay, then the third one is consideration how to pick. Which one to pick? Maslahah or mafsadah? Benefit or damage? If both of them get into conflict at the same time. We want to have the mothers, don't want to the mother trouble into psychology effect if the baby delivered with congenital situation. Right? But the doctors asked me, Dr. Zarina had shared the story to me. Non-Muslim come to her and said, can we give the pitocin, right? Bukan pitocin tu. Fetocide. Okay, I'm not medical actually, so people give me for the summer. Fetocide, right? Okay, so that the baby will die first slowly, right? And then because the baby with congenital, that baby surely will end the life, right? So to ease all parties, mothers, doctors, why not we use mercy killing to the baby, right? Like that. So what we as a Muslim doctor need to decide, need to respond to that situation. So it's conflict. It is some party, but how about our deen's sake, right? So this is the third about muwazanah, right? Okay. Next, fake. The third one is fake nusus. Nusus is actual. Nas, it's come from nas. Nusus is jamak, or we call plural. Sorry, plural to nas. So what is our nas? What are our nas? Quran and Sunnah. We are the primary sources, right? Quran and Sunnah. So in fiqh muwazanah, this is the copy and paste. So sorry, but I can explain to you orally. That means we understand deeper. We understand the meaning, the dalil in the Quran and Sunnah from Zanni. From Zanni. Zanni means you have many interpretation. Not you, our scholars. Our scholars have many interpretation about one term, and dalil qat'i is a clear-cut dalil, which is nobody can defeat or what we call contest anymore. So a doctor need to. The Muslim doctor need to encourage to understand the nusus. But if you are able to do that, maybe we can, ask the collaboration or assistance from our scholars. Okay, next. Fiqh maqasid. Okay, as explained earlier by Dr. Rafiqi about maqasid syariah, the principle of maqasid syariah. And he relates the maqasid sharia with the medical issues. So when we put fiqh in front of any term, it's mean understanding, deeper understanding. What we call, it's not surface understanding. It's not what we call basic understanding, but really understand in depth. That's meant by fiqh. It's not faham, al-fahmu. It's not al-fahmu faqat. Dia bukan faham semata-mata, but deeper understanding. So we comprehend the maqasid syariah in depth. So how to understand maqasid syariah in depth? We must know every time we talk about maqasid, what relates to it? Maslahah, benefit, mafsadah, damage. Under maslahah, there are three categories. First, ad-daruriyat or necessities, al-hajiyat, need, and also tahsiniyat, complementary or luxurious. So under daruriyat, there are five more categories. Just like in the explanation by Dr. Rafiq. So I don't want to make it longer at this screen because already explained by Dr. Rafiq. So what I want to emphasize here is the relationship, fiqh of priorities with other types of fiqh. Okay, fiqh muwazanah, fiqh maqasid, and also fiqh nusus. Actually, there are some more that will coming through after this. It's about fiqh waqi'. And also fiqh, what we call fiqh shara', but it's actually it's comprised everything actually in this three. But okay, let me see the principle of fiqh awlawiyat. Based on fiqh awlawiyat, based on particular discipline in Sharia. Every hukum, deeds, and obligation has their own categories according to the perspective of Islam. Awlawiyat itself, it comes from the word awla. Awla or ula. Ula means the first one. The first one. So Awlawiyat itself is a flexible concept. It is based on many changing factors, both in terms of facts and evaluation. A value or need that is seen as more important, awla. When we say awla, it's also equal to important. It means important. At one time, moment, and atmosphere. Maybe some otherwise at a different time, moment, and atmosphere. It's repeated. Sorry. So the principle of awlawiyat, similarly, something that may consider main and awla for a person, a group or a society, but maybe the opposite for another person, a group or society. Awlawiyat, we cannot determine in one perspective or dimension only. Okay, it takes us to view from different perspective, different dimension. Not only we think about, oh, HIV will decrease, HIV rates will decrease if we give the PrEP to homosexual people, right? But how about the institution of family? They will go to corrupt. So how Islam look these two conflict? Okay, so we go for the next slide. In fi awlawiyat, there is big, important, and main. Small, less important. There is also usul, there is furu', there is rukun, complementary rukun or pillars, primary, secondary, and so on. So in this fi muamalat, fi awlawiyat, all these terms are basic and essential and always repeated. Okay. Also in Al-Quran, Surah At-Tawbah, how Allah SWT put position one thing over another thing. Yes, for example, Surah At-Tawbah, أجعلتم سقاية الحاج وعمارة المسجد الحرام كمن آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وجاهد في سبيل الله لا يستوون عند الله والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. Have you made the providing people who provide water for the pilgrim and the maintenance of Masjid al-Haram equal to the deeds of one who believe in Allah and the last day and strive in the cause of Allah? They are not equal in the sight of Allah. So in Quran and in Quranic text also have put this wording which is equal, not equal, la yastawun indallah. So in hadith also, congregational prayer is 27 degrees better than individual prayers. Standing in the field of jihad for a day and a night is better than fasting in common life or months. So this is concept of fiqh awliyat from Quran and also hadith. So what is the importance of fiqh awlawiyat? Why we need to know about fiqh awlawiyat? Okay, so the first one, able to treat the confusion ratio and judgment from Sharia point of view. Second, to put something in a proper way. The third one is we need to determine, we're able to determine the priorities of each based on correct Sharia consideration by following the guidance of revelation and reason based on the measure without prejudice. Okay, so how to apply? Okay, now we come to how to apply the fiqh awliyat in medical decision making issues. Okay, this is I thought the gist of the gist of fiqh awlawiyat itself. Okay, next, fiqh awlawiyat interact directly with fiqh muwazanah, fiqh nusus or fiqh of text, understanding of text, fiqh maqasid, and fiqh waqi'. Waqi', what does it mean by waqi'? Waqi' is reality of life. So the ulama must understand the reality of life of his at each time before they come up with any fatwa. Must understand both sides, not bias, not in a bias, what we call bias. Bias by citation or whatever. So how to understand the waqi'? Our ulama must get the information enough from the the specialists in each field. Alright, so next, okay, this is fiqh muwazanah. For me, medical doctors need to understand really well about fiqh muwazanah. Fiqh timbangan. Okay, this is the practical. Okay, determine the best among the good, all the good, but we need to pick the best decision. Okay, prioritize what should prioritize and what should we lessen or make it later or reject or refuse. Okay, first, the thing that we need to prioritize in determining the best among the good is maslahah ammah, or what we call maslahah ammah, general benefit. Ammah is umum. Okay, so general benefit for many categories of people. Categories of people maybe category of people tua ada, muda ada, right? So career person, not career person, what else? Orang kampung, city person, urban, right? So this is categories of people. First, second, we must prioritize the thing that carry maslahah ammah or the general benefit for a lot of people, not particular people only. Okay, and the third one is substantial benefit or maslahah will occur. The maslahah, the substantial benefit, substantial maslahah will occur. So what is the thing that we need to lessen? Okay, the first one is maslahah for small category of person. Just people who want, just like homosexual people come to get the PrEP. So for themselves only, for their group only, for the LGBT person only, not for all the majority of the country of Malaysia. So they are considered as a small or specific or particular person only. So we need to make it lesson, not prioritize to give the lesson at that moment. So maslahah ammah or benefit for particular people only. So we need to lessen it either. And insubstantial benefit will occur if the maslahah, the benefit in a substantial way will occur. So we just make it lessen it either. So this is the first fiqh muwazanah, how to determine the best among the good. Okay, the second one is okay, this is the continuation from the first one, the first slide that you do. Okay, this is the first one. This is the second. This is the continuation. Okay, priorities. The fourth one is strong maslahah or strong benefit will occur in future. Okay, our ulama already put in future. If we do like this, then this thing will happen. So in fiqh also we have fiqh ma'alat, for your information. Another term in fiqh al-ma'alat. It's not fiqh al-mal. Fiqh mal is mu'amalat, wealth of fiqh. But this fiqh ma'alat means we already forecast something in future will happen. So if the strong maslahah, strong benefit will occur in future, so we need to prioritize it. And if it is just weak maslahah will occur, so we lessen it. So the fifth one is basic, essential means usul, or we call it essential maslahah. Also we prioritize it, just like essential maslahah, just like what we call anything related to maqasid syariah, just like deen, lineage, akal, mind, and also dignity. So we make it priorities. The sixth one is permanent maslahah. Okay, and instead of we prioritize the temporary maslahah for the particular person only, we must prioritize the permanent maslahah that will occur in any decision making. Okay, next. This is the second one, is determine the worst and refuse it. We know the worst, it is bad thing. We know that is the bad thing that come to us as a Muslim doctors in hospital. Sometimes we Allah will push some trouble person to us, and we know, oh, this is the worst. But how to reduce? How to make the prioritize in that situation? So. Okay, so fit muwazanah, determine the worst and refuse it. Fuqaha means our jurisprudence scholars have created several ways to eliminate the evil, corruption, damage, disadvantage. Among of them, these three methods. First method, evil have to be eliminated as much as possible. We know that evil will occur, so we need to eliminate it. So this is our stand. This is our stand as a Muslim doctors. Wherever we go, wherever we are, okay, in hospital, in class, right? When we talk, when we teach our students, also we need to have a what we call clear stand. Okay. So the second one, evil cannot be eliminated by evil of equal or greater magnitude. Evil cannot be eliminated by evil of equal. The same level of evil cannot be eliminated or greater magnitude. So we take one example, just like what I always talking about prayer, right? Because I'm also one of the member group of with Prof. Rafida in this in that topic. Okay, evil of equal or greater magnitude. If we allow the prescription of PrEP to homosexual, what will happen? Our society will go hassle, and also the institution of family will break down, right? So it's equal of evil or greater evil than decreasing the what we call the statistic of HIV. Which one do you think? Can you can you have some interaction with? What do you think?
My knowledge on PrEP may not be that sufficient, but from what I understand, if we merely or simply do the judgment to give the PrEP to homosexual community or not, versus focusing the PrEP prescription to those with the complication of HIV that may lead to other complications to the lineage, to the spouse, to the partner. I think that would be a
greater. Is that greater evil will happen or equal or less?
If we talk on the homosexual community versus yang non-homosexual, then of course we can straight away conclude that greater evil. But in the essence of the PrEP prescription, it's not just to give to the homosexual community alone, but to think of the spouse, the complications, the risk that the spouse might get because the partner did not receive the correct prescription. But that might be another discussion and point of view, or maybe the pertimbangan, the consideration to discuss. So itulah for me.
Okay. I thought the double evil will happen for me greater, because it will affect the spouse, and it will affect the lineage also, lineage of the ummah, right? So how about the generation in future, right? So it will double.
Oh, so can I just say something?
Okay.
Which means that in your opinion, based on fiqh muwazanah, it is better to give PrEP to men who has potentially have HIV, married men.
Married, halal married.
Yeah, halal married.
Oh, that's one already in the fatwa.
Yeah, halal married. I mean that in the sense that because sorry, maybe I got the terminology wrong. So it is better to give to heterogeneous men compared to heterosexual men compared to homosexual men. Is that what you're trying to say? Because there is no issues of lineage in homosexual people compared to people who are heterosexual.
Because we want to eliminate the HIV cases. We want to decrease it. But at the same time, we directly or indirectly, I thought, we just forget, we just omit the importance of family institution, the society itself, in general. So we talk about maslahah before, in the first slide, maslahah ammah, maslahah, the general maslahah must be prioritized, right? So the third one, okay, before we go deeper in that matter, so we go to the third method, how our ulama determine the worst and refuse it. The third one is tolerating minor harm in order to avoid harm to the public. Again, they talk about public instead of the particular person or individual interest or benefit, right? So now that's the second concept of fiqh muwazanah. Okay, this is the third concept of muwazanah, fiqh muwazanah. If the good one and the bad one are in conflict in situation. In fiqh also there is a qawaid fiqhiyah and there is qa'idah fiqhiyah. Idza ta'arada mafsadatani ru'ida a'dhamuhuma bi'irtikabi akhafihima. That's mean, okay, that's a long qa'idah, right? The short qa'idah is akhafu darurain. Understood? Akhafu darurain means we choose the lesser evil instead of the bigger or greater than that. Okay, so this is the method, the qa'idah, the method how our ulama put when the things are conflicting each other at the same time. So what we need to do, jalbul maslahah wa dar'u mafsadah. It is a term in maqasid. In maqasid, when we say fiqh awliyat, we cannot run away from fiqh maqasid. Even though maqasid is not a dalil. Maqasid, as explained by Dr. Najib before, maqasid we cannot make it as a dalil in imposing any hukum or fatwa. Instead, we need to use nusus and also the methodologies that provided by our ulama. So, okay, we need to prioritize definite goodness. Definite, it will happen. The goodness will happen, so we prioritize it. The things that indefinite, we lessen it. Okay. The second, refuse temporary evil, but permanent goodness, it's okay. We must, permanent goodness, we just make it lessen for a while, but we must prioritize to refuse evil first. In terms of jalbul maslahah means we obtain or we get the maslahah. Darul mafasid means we refuse the mudarat. We refuse the disadvantages. Between them, ulama more our ijtihad, ulama ijtihad is darul mafasid or refuse the damage is prioritized over the maslahah. So that's why any evil must be refused. Okay, even though there is a goodness in that thing, just like the example given in Al-Quran itself regarding khamar or wine. Of course, there is profitable business can be done through this wine and so on. But it is evil. It is evil, and also even though temporary, we must refuse it. Okay, and small disadvantage. Also we prioritize small disadvantage, and lessen the big goodness. Because of what? Because between disadvantage and goodness, maybe it's conflict, but because it's small, okay, it's okay. We prioritize it first. For temporarily, that's explanation for the third one. And the fourth, reject or refuse the evil, damage, and corruption. Instead of the goodness will occur in the what we call in the lesson categories. But the things is we need to refuse or reject the evil first over the getting or obtaining the maslahah or benefit. Okay, so we finish talking about fiqh muwazanah. Now fiqh awlawiyat also directly interact with fiqh maqasid. Fiqh maqasid, our ulama categorize it into three, as I told you earlier: ad-daruriyat, al-hajiyat, al-tahsiniyat. Some people get confused. Okay, 5 minutes more. Alright. Okay. Some of us get confused with the word darurah, hajah, right? And also daruriyat and hajiyat. Okay. For information, daruriyat in maqasid, they're just involved with daruriyat, hajiyat, tahsiniyat. It's not darurah. Darurah is fiqh discipline. Fiqh from fiqh discipline. It's not from maqasid. Darurah. But daruriyat, when you say daruriyat, it is maqasid discipline. Okay. So these things. Okay. We mentioned daruriyat just now, right? So in daruriyat, it's comprise 5 components: preserve religion, life, lineage, mind, wealth, and some scholar like Izzuddin Abdul Salam, he put the preservation of dignity as the question raised up by Prof. Rafida just now. How to prioritize the dignity, right? Yes, among our scholars also they have different views. Which one first? Which one comes first? But jumhur ulama and most of our scholars agree that religion is the first. So we must respect the ijtihad and also the fiqh maqasid itself, which put the religion as the first ranking in the maslahah of daruriyah. The religion, we talk in maslahah daruriyat context. It's not in hajiyat, it's not in tahsiniyat, but in daruriyat. Okay, next. We are going to finish actually shortly. Okay, basic element need to put into account in applying fiqh awlawiyat. Okay, fiqh nusus. Okay, fiqh nusus consists of some terms, just like dalil qat'i. Qat'i means clear-cut dalil from text of Quran and Hadith, which is we cannot contest anymore. And dalil zanni, many interpretation between scholar or fuqaha themselves. Just like the wording of what we call huruf. It's okay, that matter. Now we go to fiqh maqasid. Okay, majority of ulama agree that each kind of hukum has its own hikmah or illah. Illah means reason. Okay, and must understand the concept of maslahah and mafsadah. Okay, fiqh waqi'. Ulama must have the ability to understand the waqi' or reality of life in certain time instead of comprehend the textual legal proof only. They need to understand the culture of the people, and they need to understand what is the demand of the people at that time, what must go align with textual dalil and also maqasid. And they must confirm or ensure from the specialist from the any field before come up with the fatwa or any resolution. Okay, now we come to I just put some pictures. I thought this is very controversial issues that Muslim doctor always confront, just like PrEP to homosexual, the vaccine issues, because it's always always be blamed. There is pig DNA in it. What do you call it? TOP, right? Termination of pregnancy, and also yes, bilateral. Okay. So I believe this picture, all of you get used with this picture, and you're happy to see this situation, right? Because I know this situation you confront every day, right? Not every day, but often. But for Sharia lecturer, some of them it's not Sharia lecturer. Yet scholars from Sharia, not many of them get used with this kind of field. Some of them expert in economics, right? So, but I know in this hall and also in the online, happy to see this. Okay, conclusion. The science of fiqh awlawiyat provides an explanation of a large number of priorities that have been outlined by Islamic Sharia scholars and explain with clear argument and evidence. With it can help us clarify our understanding and prioritize all matters related to aspect of our life. So that's it for me. Thank you. Come back to
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much to you. Though we are on time, I'm sure there's a lot of questions to be asked. Perhaps. Maybe you are more confused or be overwhelmed because now your own principle of understanding in how the decisions are made maybe a bit more than your understanding before this. Okay, it is very insightful. Perhaps we open the floor and the online to one question. Yeah.
Can I just add something before?
Prof. Ramina wanted to add something. Please, Prof.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Online can you hear?
Kena pegang sikit kat dia punya mic dengan dia dah petang. Okay, I would like to actually clarify things because I think we will be seeing a lot of differences in views even in
Tak jelas, Prof. Tak jelas. The online.
Maybe satu lagi. Satu lagi ya.
Okay. Ini ya.
Okay.
Okay, I think that we will be seeing lots of discussions with regards to what we are discussing today. But I would like to explain a few things lah before questions on the floor. I think there is no issue about giving PrEP to the spouse of infected person. We have actually 4 individual mufti opinions about this. If you are giving PrEP to the husband whose wife is positive, or the wife whose husband is positive. And if you notice that all our fatwa, they talk in a language that your family values, they don't use partner. Okay? So as much as possible, we as Muslim doctors would try to actually preserve that. Although I know it's not easy. Sometimes you will have somebody who just mentioned about partner. Okay, now the second thing is that when these PrEP issues came about, the reason why some of us professors from 6 different universities wrote is because the matter was not referred to the Jawatan Kuasa Teknikal Syariah. That was our concern. It's not that we would like to, having a fight, argue against our colleagues. No. So we were asking, has this matter been brought to Muzakarah Fatwa? Because for Universiti Islam macam kita, at least 3 being part under KBT as Universiti Islam. Kita, UIA and UNIZA. Although UNIZA sebenarnya selalu kata dia deny, kalau tidak saya kata biar secular. Tapi sebenarnya it was actually grouped into 3. Now, when there is no muzakarah issue, fatwa about it, it's difficult for us to teach our students. I keep on mentioning that we need a black and white so that we can teach our students about all of the issues. We already have what we call sort of deliberations on abortions, on papilloma virus vaccines, on many things lah, euthanasia semua tu. So I just mentioned that, but of course lah, whenever it has to do with LGBT group, you will see the fight against this semua kan. So that's why the chronology. So when we brought up that thing, barulah I think Jakim was made aware that this is the issues. Nobody has brought to them, and we presented to Jakim what we understood about the issues. Lepas Jakim pergi kat MKI, and I was made to understand that MKI has already deliberated on it, but we are yet to know the full thing. But itu muzakarah fatwa at national level, but states given the freedom to elaborate. So some states that elaborate lah, macam Perlis, they come up with a very elaborations, and still Perlis also say that homosexuals still forbidden act lah to receive the PrEP or to use the PrEP for their homosexual activity. Third, we have mentioned, I think one of the most take home point is when you measure about muwazanah tadi kan, the individual versus society. These are the issues that when I face in human rights punya argument lah, they were saying that the dignity of a person and they do not talk in the sense of society. Now, having said that, there is the differences between our ethical committee, USIM's ethical committee, which I lead, and Dr. as a deputy, versus I think in certain other ethic committee. So I was invited to talk under University Malaya, for example, ethic committee, and they keep using the words patient's autonomy, whereas we would use society. That's why in our committee we have lawyers, we have representative from society, we have Jakim, apa semua tu. Because when we say that we need to take into consideration society, it also means our law enforcers. Now medicine invite homosexuals to come and get PrEP, but by law, this is actually an offence. Secondly, Jabatan Pendaftaran Negara, they also have problem if we are to allow sex reassignment surgery. So these are the society that we are talking about. Now, these are things which we have to take into account in Muslims punya ni lah. And I sort of hope that our universities would actually integrate kan. So when we integrate today, we would like to actually ensure that everybody understood that we also have to respect our colleagues from Syariah. Jadilah because we can't say to them, itu kerja ustazah lah, asatizah lah to control the homosexuality in the thing. Our concern is only to cut the transmission. I don't think that's the holistic medicine that we used to learn. We used to help each other. So sometimes I do remind that when COVID-19 is on the rise, the health sector would use fatwa to strengthen the campaign for COVID-19 vaccination. But when it comes to homosexuality, why is it that medicine is not helping the religious punya counterparts, kan? Our counterparts, and also helping to safeguard benda ni lah. So I think this is actually my message to this one. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prof. Very explanation in depth. We take one question.
Can we see if there's any question in the chat? I'm not
Yeah.
sure if there's we should be able to see.
Yeah, you
Can
have
take one line question. One question.
one online question.
Any question?
Online question. Any online question? We have one question here.
If not, then we take one.
Then we proceed with question from the hall itself. Alright?
Can I just ask?
Just asking this.
I don't know. Okay.
I'm just wondering, after listening to both topics today, is there such concepts of fiqh awlawiyat in the maqasid syariah itself? Meaning, deen should be prioritized first as compared to other principles, or it will always be the concept of like what Dr. Rafiki said just now, aligning each and every maqasid with every issues. Or how?
Okay, fiqh awlawiyat always interact and must involve with fiqh maqasid. And fiqh awlawiyat, fiqh awlawiyat discipline try to solve the problem of community related to what we call the action of Muslim, the action of the act of Muslim. Accordingly, I mean case by case either, and also aligning with the maqasid. But whatever it is, the thing must be the first ranking, because our jumhur or majority of the fuqaha, they come to the what we call consensus that religion must be the first one, the first ranking, the first level in maqasid, in what we call in our sharia. So each case can be decided and also can be solved what we call in each their own situation, but we cannot omit the religion, what we call the religion perspective and religion view at the same time. That's it.
Thank you so much. Very fruitful discussion today, and as well as very good input from both of our speakers, as well as our professors here, Prof. Ida as well, with experience. And so, as to conclude today, I would like to summarize that from our day-to-day practices as well as cases that we see, actually there are application of fiqh maqasid as well as fiqh awlawiyat. We may not really feel the difference because it probably very large and has been decided quite clear. But when there are cases that or situation that may need certain decision, at least you know there are how the decisions are made in terms of decisions made related to certain hukum or certain decision for fatwa came out. So that when it came out, you understand. Because sometimes when, like for the most common and easiest to say is like the PrEP issue. Among us, the medical practitioner also, we may have our own views, and we feel like kenapa tak boleh, memang tak boleh. But when the scholars make their decision, they are based on this is a lesser evil, or then they make the decision as such that it may apply to certain market as well. So it's not that easy. And when we came upon or stumbled upon certain cases that you may have this dilemma, some of it may be decided based on other evidence, or you may refer to the more expert people in the field. I guess that's all. Alright. So I would like to thank again. We give a big applause to our speakers today, as well as the attendees. And I will share the attendance link in the chat. Yeah, if you do have any suggestion or any question, you can forward to me, and I may share it with our speaker, because I'm sure there could be any question that you wanted to further seek, and we perhaps can answer in next INAQ series. Then we are expecting more to come to our series. Yeah. InsyaAllah. So shall we close our this today with tasbih?